Welcome to the Waal Onder experience. In the next 4 minutes, you're going to make a very unique journey underwater, and that without getting wet. Get to know the different migratory fish that live in the Rhine and Waal. Migratory fish have to travel between fresh and salt water to reproduce. Some migratory fish go back to their native soil, water, the fresh water, to lay their eggs there. But there are also fish that lay their eggs in the sea but grow up in fresh water. Because they travel long distances for this purpose, they are called migratory fish. Find out what obstacles they encounter, but also what solutions mankind has come up with to give these fish a helping hand. Have a good trip. The Waal is a tributary of the Rhine. Just beyond the border of the Netherlands, the Rhine divides into the Waal and the Lower Rhine. This is where the Gelderse Nature Reserve is located. Organizations such as Staatsbosbeheer, Rijkswaterstaat, and Park- en Sportvisserij Nederland are working here to help the river and nature and to give them more space again. Look, here you see a cross-section of the river Waal. As you can see, there are several places where fish can live. This is the channel. Here the water flows the fastest, fast enough to even move pebbles. In the inner bend, it's all a bit quieter. Here some lighter materials such as clay is deposited. In the outer bend, things can get tough, even so tough that the bank is washed away. Ribs and longitudinal dams have been constructed to keep the river under control. In the lee and between the stones, many species of fish find a good place to hide or eat. Side channels are old tributaries of the river. Because of the many hiding places between the vegetation and the calm water, this is an ideal place for fish to spawn or lay eggs. Are you ready to go underwater? Breathe in, here we go. Look, here we are. And here you see the first migratory fish. You probably know it, the three-spined stickleback. It's hard to believe that this little fish sometimes goes to the sea to mate. And there you see some lesser-known migratory fish like the smelt, river lamprey, wooding, and Ellis shad. And what do we see here? These are elvers, young eels that have swum 6,000 kilometers to grow up in the river. As soon as the eels are big and can mate, they swim all 6,000 kilometers back again. Unbelievable, actually, don't you think? Perhaps the most famous migratory fish is the salmon. The salmon lives in the sea and only comes to the river to lay eggs, after which most will die. And then here is the largest migratory fish in Europe, the sturgeon. In 1953, the last sturgeon was caught in our country, but they were reintroduced in 2012. They swam directly to the sea. Now it's waiting for them to come back. Fortunately, pollution has decreased dramatically in recent years. Factories and sewers are no longer allowed to discharge into the river, but the water is still far from clean enough. There are still too many plastic particles, agricultural fertilizers, and medicine residues. For centuries, the river has been a source of food for humans. Many species of migratory fish have disappeared as a result of overfishing. Fortunately, much is being done to ensure that these and other fish come back, such as the construction of side channels and breakwaters and the placing of dead wood. Also, fish are released again. The Waal is one of the busiest rivers in the Netherlands. This causes a lot of inconvenience in the form of turbulence, noise and pollution. And fish are killed by ship's propellers. Inventions such as the fish-friendly ship's propeller will reduce noise, pollution and the number of accidents. In the Netherlands, we notice that it rains harder and more irregularly more often. This leads to floods or very low water levels. Floods can be prevented by raising dikes, deepening the river and providing more space. However, the greatest challenges for fish are the dams, pumping stations, weirs and locks. Very important for water management, shipping and energy production, but insurmountable obstacles for migratory fish. Fortunately, more and more solutions are emerging, such as fish ladders, fish-friendly turbines. Finally, there is this obstacle, the Haringvliet locks. This connection to the sea was opened ajar in 2018, so that migratory fish can swim all the way to Switzerland and back again. Much can still be done to help migratory fish. Fortunately, there are also many organizations that make sure that the River Waal and the fish that live in it are doing better and better. Thank you for your visit. A bit dizzy? Stay seated for a while to recover from this wet trip. And, oh yes, would you please put everything back the way you found it?